All right, we'll continue on with this engine. A couple things I forgot to mention is we had to take some of the step out of one of the heads. They had one head they had like 100,000 step on one head, and I think a 70,000 step on the other. And of course, it came out a little bit uneven, but it's not bad. It's still okay. But we took, whatever it was, 50,000 probably off of that other side step, because they didn't step cut them exactly the same. I don't know what the hell. Had to fix the valves a little bit. Had one valve that was protruding. I mean, it didn't seem like the seats dropped, but it does kind of. But I don't know. It's not really that dropped, but it's just a little bit. And of course, it made the geometry a little trickier to do. But it's still, I want to say, I was like, so if you had here and here, I was like 30 degrees off of center, and it was, so that's really not bad. That was actually pretty good, and it's pretty well in the center of the valve, so that's all good. So anyway, we'll start stacking the parts on here. This is a 6-volt generator that goes on this one, 6-volt flywheel. I still got to tighten it. I'd set the end plate by hand by just tightening it at 6. So probably when I tighten it down, it'll probably come down about 5 or 4. Will be good there. And then I'll just get these tins on, tin this sucker up, and let's put it together, make it run. Sized up the original main jet. It's a 120. It looks like a 122. I don't have a 122 sizer, but that's what was in it. 122. That's a hard no. We'll start with a 132. I wish I had a 135. Nobody has them in stock. So I'll put this 132.5 in here. At least it won't burn the motor up. May not run the best, but it'll be better than what's in there. 132, 135 might be perfect, but with this is a pick 30, 31, 30, 31, 34, I think. I don't know. Has this style adjustment. And usually they like a big main jet. All right, Jason from 5150 MXVW channel, you take your distributor cap off when you put on the carburetor. I watched him struggle with this one too many times. So he's a good dude. Jason's a good friend. So yeah, we're gonna put the carburetor on this thing here. And you could reach in here. You don't need an S wrench. You can just use this, and when your carburetors, when your distributor cap's off, you can just reach right in there and get her done, and just put it back on. Just get used to taking that thing off. Every time I get in here, I just take it off and snap it back on. That's why I like it when my distributor's dropped correctly, because the clips are always easy to get to. And yeah, so we're about ready to start it. I just gotta get off the stand. I gotta tighten up the flywheel, put oil in it, and we'll do that tomorrow. And we're gonna, oh, I was gonna tell you guys about this before I get into the whole starting thing. So this is what I'm thinking on this thing. Well, I've got to do the muffler clamps real quick to get those done. But is okay. So this here, you go, well, this is a stock muffler. Yeah, it is. It's a stock muffler. But look what he did. He put on these straight pipes on it. It's the old Zoom tube. Some guys will be like, oh, Zoom tubes didn't do anything. They didn't give you any power. Well, if you had a performance cam in it, and you had, you know, higher compression, it's going to be pushing more exhaust through here. And with the stock pea shooters on here, it would be kind of restrictive. So with these on here, it gives it, you know, a little bit more open, and it's definitely would make a difference, especially with the cam and that. So those Zoom tubes did something. It was just not a lot, you know. So this is going to make a huge difference. This exhaust, just this little modification right here of those, when you do the compression upgrade, should make it kind of level out. I mean, it would definitely work better if you had a real extractor on here. So if you had an extractor with a flange, kind of like, oh, the other one's not here, not like this. Those are not good. But a nice flange and then mufflers on there, or a single muffler, that would make a lot more flow than this. Okay, but this will do something, because he wanted to look stock. So that's the whole thing. We need to find some plugs for these though. So, or is there? There's plugs in them. Oh good. Okay, I didn't look. That helps. We need those, and then we're good to go. All right, we got it on stand. I got a, I don't know, we'll see how this works again. A lithium battery hooked up to it. It doesn't really, not really meant for cranking over stuff like this, but let's see what happens. I got the oil pressure gauge hooked up. Let's see it, let it build oil pressure before we even try to start it. Getting hot, the battery. Actually, I think the battery overheated. See if I can get a better connection here. It was like 40 pounds before it even started, so we should be good. So anyway, at least that's oil pressure. I'll check this. I've got to alligator clip that wire because it doesn't have the slip connectors on them. But anyway, I'll kind of eyeball the timing. Oh look, we're pretty close right now. So our timing needs to go to. Am I gonna be lucky? No, it doesn't fit. Let me get my wrench. Ignition off. Don't want that to kick. While we're doing this, so we'll go with top dead center here. Let's before, so this is probably it right here. Let's see where it's going to be about right. Yes, I could get the test slide out and do the old motorcycle style. Actually, it's going to be way up here. I could do the old motorcycle style. Use the static method or whatever and get the test light. Watch the points open and close and get, you know what? I'll just bypass that. Because I just wanted to start. I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing stuff like that. To show you. You can use a test light. You can hook it up to, let's see, been a while since I've done it because we did them. Motorcycles were all timed like this. You time your motorcycle. You couldn't use the timing light on a motorcycle. So you had to use the static method, which you turn this around, okay? And then when it's at top dead, you know, you go for your timing mark would be, say, 7 degrees before top dead center. So it'd be, I guess, over here. And you'd want the test light to come on when you're, say, 7 degrees before top dead center. When you use you hook it up to positive and you hook up the negative side to the coil, and you just turn it around until it turns the test light on, or use a voltmeter, whatever, and you could do it that way. But like I said, we got a timing light. We don't need to do that. And if it's a little off, it doesn't matter. I just get it close. So it should be ready to fire off right there. I just realized it's 6 volt, so I had to check to make sure that the idle stop solenoid's not working. Of course, they cut the end off good, but the choke is going to be a problem. That's 12 volt. So, not sure how this is going to work here. Let's give it a shot. I got my. You get these at Smart and Final mustard bottle. That's how it works for priming. A little down the tube. Thinking, well, what am I going to prime this thing with? Because I don't really want to get the starter too hot, you know, trying to crank it all the way up here. So maybe we'll. I don't know if the accelerator pump works. I don't know if any of this stuff on this engine works. So. A little more in there. I don't think we got very much in there. Nothing. Let me just bring some up, see what happens. Throw a little in it, see if it starts. Rhino! Too far advanced. Alright, so it starts. Well, that's it for the video then. No, I'm just kidding. No, anyway. So what we're going to do now is it's a 6 volt coil, so that's, I don't know if I can run it for 20 minutes on that thing. I need to set the timing. You got to hook up my don't know if I have any vacuum line that size. I don't use vacuum advanced distributors. You guys that watch my channel know that. I don't normally use them, but they're fine. You know, if you gotta use them, we like to use them. If you have a car and you go, hey, it has a dead spot, and it's a late model, put a 140 main jet in it, or 145. One of those two, you'll be golden. Then you don't have to worry about changing your distributor, because the distributor's not the problem, it's lean. I got something. Let's just use this, I guess. I better check it, make sure it works. Another thing I've got to check. He just wanted this distributor because that's what he had, I guess. I don't know. Let's check the advance. Do the old suck me style. Yes, it's working. Yeah, those late model cars, you guys, they are set up so freaking lean for smog, and that's why they, and with the fuel today, you got all this alcohol in it, and you need more main jet. People go, oh well, I put a vacuum advance on it to fix it. Well, but if it's running lean, it's gonna run hot. You know, you got to fix the problem regardless of whether you want to run vacuum or mechanical. Your advanced method should make no difference. Should run the same. Just depends on how you want it done. Fire it again, see if it runs any better with advance. Well, I gotta hook the timing. We'll play around with that. Yeah, so I like to mark my timing on both 180 and TDC. Let's do that one. My TDC mark right there. And I'll just pick up the old timing light. This timing light, for some reason, I can't put it right here on this. It won't read. I have to put it over on the spark plug side. Maybe you have a Harbor Freight one, you have the same issue. I got one of those really fancy ones, and it was no better. Really expensive thing. I was kind of disappointed with that. We're going to get a good ground here. I guess right here, huh? Single port. Still want it to hit the pulleys and stuff. I got my wonderful connection there. This is going to be a little tricky here. I'm going to go for, I set this at 30. It's in a Carmen Ghia, so it's going to run hot. So anyway, we'll set the timing here and I'll let you guys watch, I guess. I'll turn it on. connection here. Stick an alligator clip on there. It's almost impossible to do. And so I think if I keep running it now, it's going to foul the, or mess up the points, which are probably not good right now. Anyway, I'm hearing some stuff I don't like as far as that goes. It could be, it's so hard to tell. That's why it's just easier. I just take them out and put in pointless, because then you have less issues. And that's why I say I like the non-vacuum advanced distributor. All that stuff is more for simplicity. Then there's only one thing to check. You got your mechanical advance. You don't have vacuum issues. There's a lot less problems. It's more simple. And if you get it run right, it doesn't matter how it runs right. So that's why I usually like to do it. But anyway, you can do that if you want. But like I said, you can create other problems by doing those things. The same thing with the points. I don't know if they make the pointless. I don't think fits in here because it has the pin, the two-piece points. So they might have a pointless that does, and maybe I don't know if that one's that great. I mean, it's going to have 6 volts anyway. So anyway, let me see if I can figure out what to do next. We got an oil leak, of course. You guys might see that dripping down there. Guess what it is? It is just our fancy dancy gauge over here telling us that we got good oil pressure, and of course we do. So yeah, got to sort out those things here real quick, and then we'll continue on with this. Decide what to do with this. Maybe I can put, I think I've got a 12 volt coil out there. I think I have one. I don't know if it's any good, but we'll hook that up and see. Trying to twist to do it up high. It sounds like a condenser's going bad. Finish the break in a minute. I just rigged up wires here, I'll show you. I just put a resistor here, and then since it's got a 12 volt choke, I just hooked it up to there. He usually has a resistor, he said, to between here and over there. Oh man, that's hot. Yeah, it is a 6 volt or 12 volt, right? Yeah, 12 volt. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Shouldn't be poo-pooing like that at higher RPMs. And I mean, it's an original condenser, so maybe it's done. I don't know. We'll check into that a little bit once I have lunch and come back and revisit this thing. I'm not liking the carburetor, but I'll run it through 20 minutes now. Let's listen to it. It's already been through its 20 minutes here. Yeah, it should idle smoother than that. The carburetor's not right. This is good. RPMs. Listen to it now. If you listen to it at the higher RPMs, it smooths way out. There's something wrong with it. I don't know what yet, but I know the accelerator pump's junk that's in it, so there's a whole bunch of issues with the carburetor. So we'll figure those out. I've been dealing with all these different issues, so that's why I didn't film the whole thing there. I got another carburetor sitting over there. I might just throw on here and a 30 pick one. This thing, I don't know, it's just not right. That's a little better. You heard me, it leaves the accelerator pump. Bring the idle down a little bit, see what it sounds like now. Too bad idle. It's a little rough, but performance is sure a lot better. I think the accelerator pump is a little bit weak. Let it warm up a little bit. You're still on choke. Let's see, I think it's off the choke now. All right, let's do a cold start. I'll run this thing for a little while. I had an oil leak, so I'm going to see if it came back. I don't know. The accelerator pump is a little bit weak, but maybe it'll get better because the carburetor was sitting around for a while. That's the reason why it does that. In the choke, thermostat is dead. I thought it was a 12-volt one, and it was a 6-volt, so gonna need a new one of those. Actually, the choke thermostat just came back alive. Something just fried. Something shorted. Dish and wire. Well, this wonderful, this is why I hate this kind of stuff, guys. This alligator clip that I never want to use. I usually use a slip-on connector, and he didn't have the proper slip-on connectors on here. Okay. So I just made this alligator clip up to temporarily use it, and it went over and grounded on the coil and just fried the wires. I don't know what else it fried. It was burning something over here. Oh, but something else fried too. It must be, oh, this wire here. It goes over there. Ignition wire. I saw something just completely fry. Let's see if it continues to fry. Is it? No. I think it'll still work. I want to get that slip-on connector back on here so that doesn't happen again. Let's see. No, I fried I was going to try and get it running a little bit better, but I think the carburetor is just issues. So, I don't know. Seemed like it ran better yesterday than it runs right now. Maybe after it's completely warmed up. And it may need a different main jet, but we'll run with the one that's in it and see. It seems like I'll take this off of here. Test it a little while. Let it. Sometimes they get hot and they just shut off. So anyway. All right, guys, let's start it up one more time, and I think we're just going to call it right here because I'm done. I don't have time to do any more. Oh, 2 hands. Yeah, it's still not running right. The carburetor, it's got issues. So it needs to be completely rebuilt, probably, and maybe rejetted. With the choke on, it's fine. So it's probably too lean. Might be the primary. Intermediate jet probably needs like a 65 in there. I don't have any of them, so that's it. That's all I'm doing to it. It's got a little leak, and yep, it's a Volkswagen. So anyway, at least it's running. Get the car down the road. Anything else he can play with himself. He's a VW guy, so he just didn't want to do the whole engine. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.